Whitney Beach Plaza, what's going on? Good morning, everyone. My name is Mike Rennick. I'm the team lead, the senior broker of Team Rennick, part of that great Mangrove Realty Associates family. My guest this morning is Mr. Steve Reed. Steve is the owner and publisher of the Longboat Key News and the Sarasota City News. We're at Whitney Beach Plaza. Steve, what's happening?
Well, it's actually kind of exciting. We're here on a Sunday morning. You can see the Long Beach Cafe is busy. We have a big breakfast rush, but bigger news is in play. This plaza on the north end of Longboat Key has been a little bit of a conundrum for the island and the owner of the plaza for a couple of decades. Traditionally, and going back over the years, it used to be run down. It became very dilapidated. It was mostly empty. Going back over the last couple of decades, there had been super gourmet supermarkets. There have been a whole host of businesses that have come and gone. The owner, Ryan Snyder, has always contended that it's just too much commercial space to be supported by the population.
Okay.
He wants to put in some residential units here on this acreage, on 3.75 acres of this parcel, which backs up to Bishop's Bayou, a little finger of water. He wants to put in 10 units, 10 condominium
Let's
units.
go back to the would longboat support a plaza like this. For folks that may watch for the first time that don't know much about longboat, we're a seasonal home, a lot of second homes here. So we have, during the winter months, it's very busy. The population triples here on the island. But in the non-winter months, it goes back down to about 7,000 or so. And that's what Steve's talking about. For 12 months out of the year, can this many storefronts be supported on the island?
A lot of square footage of commercial. Now, what he wants to do is keep some of the commercial entities. He hasn't submitted a site plan, but my assumption is keep the liquor store and maybe the bar restaurant, Chubby's, that has been operating. Now, but the area on the water would most likely be used for the condos and apartments. The process, though, is what we have to talk about. Very difficult on Longboat.
Oh, yes.
Longboat is not the island where you say, I'm a developer, I own it, I want to build it. What do you think?
Correct.
And they can just say yes. We have a density cap. You don't add density on Longboat Key via the commission. You have to ask the residents. You have to go to a public vote, and you can only add density through winning a referendum.
So when we talk about density, define that in terms of real
Number
estate.
of units.
Number of units.
The ability to build a new unit.
Okay.
It's capped on Longboat. The density is over. You don't get more density.
Correct.
So he went to a vote in 2017 and at that time asked for 17 units from voters. Voters said no. But at the same time, on the referendum, Chuck Whittle and Unicorp was asking for an initial big redevelopment of the colony, bigger one that failed. That plan did not pass. Voters also said no to Ryan Snyder's request from Whitney Plaza LLC. Both got voted down. He feels he was kind of caught up in an avalanche or a snowball effect. He also believes he needs to educate the public more and he wants to show there'll be more green space, it really should be residential, it'll help property values. He's going to make those arguments and show a site plan and try to educate the community. Long story short, he wants to be on the very soonest election he can, and he'll pay for all those costs, and if the commission says yes, the town will be voting on it, and if the voters say yes, you'll probably see 10 units go up here.
Okay.
And if the voters say no.
High-end units, mid-price units, has he defined that yet?
I think on Longboat, with water, it's going to be high-end as you could do. Because there's a demand for that. He's a business guy, he's an attorney. He'll probably build what the market would demand.
Sure.
You're the realtor. What would people like?
Well, when you talk about waterfront, the first choice is a gulf, second choice is a bay or a canal. So that adds value to a property immediately.
Yeah.
So you can look out and see water.
And so you would have water, you'd have kayak water, and you'd have a beach across the street.
How you doing?
So hey guys, hello. My clients are riding by on a
They're
bicycle.
everywhere.
That was unplanned, but greatly appreciated. So let me do a curve here for just a second. We've not done a video on this, and we may want to think about it. When you take a referendum to the public, most of the folks that own down here can't vote. They're not Florida residents.
That is correct.
So second home market. So that's something we can talk about down the road in terms of what does that really mean? Because I'm a full-time resident, so I can vote. But many property owners, they're full-time residents of other states. So that's something we can
that's
talk
what
about.
led to the American Revolution. Those feelings.
So well, that's
Taxation without representation.
That's a whole nother.
But Mike, that's a
conundrum.
different video.
Yes.
But correct. You have 6,000 residents. They get to vote. They're here, in theory, year-round, affected the most. So they get to determine what this island looks like. If it's your second home, you're just along for the ride.
Yeah, and maybe there's some way we can talk about addressing that. But right now we're here about Whitney Beach Plaza, and some of the things happening as this thing moves forward. So really, the question is for all of us who are watching: is what is the best interest of the island property? Is it keeping the commercial shopping center that's here? Is it a mixed use, whatever? So there'll be more.
Yeah,
coming,
and
right?
I recommend residents, just like I will be, and you should be. Let's see what Ryan
Yeah.
presents. Let's see how 10 units look on this site. Let's see what kind of landscaping is possible. It's hard to be a yes/no black and white person. I think we really need to
Right.
always look at what someone wants to accomplish, see if it's too much or too little, and we go from there.
That makes all the sense in the world. Steve, thank you
Thank
again.
you.
We'll be back. Thanks for watching. Until next time.